ServSafe Chapter 6 Exam Questions. 145. Internal temp of eggs for immediate service. 165. Is it hot enough? PG 6.18. 135. Internal temp of ground pork. Cross-contamination. A food handler thaws several frozen foods on a prep table. What is the danger that this poses to the food? A food handler must reheat cheese sticks to 135 degrees. 135. Internal temp of beef steak. 165. Internal temp of pork loin with marmalade. Store at 41 degrees or lower. Unsafe ice handling, see pick on page 6.8. Linda needed to make 20 box lunches to be picked up in 3 hours. She got out the bread, meat, cheese, and left them on the prep table so that she could make the sandwiches in between her other tasks. Was the food prepared correctly? Why or why not? No, the meat and cheese are time temperature abused. What temperature must TCS food be reheated to if it will be hot held? 165 degrees for 15 seconds. 165. Internal temp of buffalo steak. 155. Internal temp of broccoli cooked in the microwave. 155 degrees for 15 seconds. A food handler can cool a stock pot of clam chowder by placing it into a sink of ice water. No, the chili did not reach an internal temperature of 165 degrees within 2 hours. Yes, assuming the roast beef was cooked and cooled correctly, it can be reheated to any temperature if served immediately. What is the maximum temperature allowed when thawing food under running water? 1. A2. A. Internal temp of steak. Brandon trimmed an uncooked roast on the red cutting board. Then he washed his hands and used a different knife to slice tomatoes on the green cutting board. Was the food prepared correctly? Why or why not? Yes, he used separate equipment for the meat and produce. Cook it. What can occur if prep tables are not clean and sanitized between uses? Norris wanted to make his famous Eggs Benedict for the residents at the nursing home where he works. He mixed the egg yolks from raw shell eggs with butter and lemon juice and poured the uncooked sauce over several hotel pans of poached eggs. Was the food prepared correctly? Why or why not? No, raw shell eggs cannot be used in a nursing home. 135. Internal temp of ostrich fillet. 145. What temp should chili reach? 165 degrees. What is the minimum internal cooking temperature for ground beef? 124. Correct temperatures, see pick on PG 6.13. 155. Internal temp of wild rice. Cross-contamination. What is the minimum internal cooking temp for stuffed pork chops? 165 degrees for 15 seconds. What is the minimum temperature for eggs, meat, and poultry? 70 degrees. What must food handlers do to food immediately after thawing it in the microwave? Jessica read an article about sprouting beans. It inspired her to try it in her operation. She used some of the freshly sprouted beans in one of her daily specials. Was the food prepared correctly? Why or why not? No, she should have contacted her local authority before sprouting beans. To thaw frozen food. Place the item in a cooler which keeps it at 41 degrees or lower. To preserve food by smoking it. Make sure you contact your local regulatory authority to get volume. Time temperature abuse. A food handler pulled a hotel pan of tuna salad from the cooler and used it to prepare 6 tuna salad sandwiches. What is the problem with this situation? 135. Internal temp of ravioli stuffed with cheese. When reheating partially cooked food for service, what minimum temperature must be reached? 65 degrees for 15 seconds. Reggie filled a cleaned and sanitized sink with cold water and ice. Then he soaked a partial case of green onions that he had gotten from the cooler and a new case of onions delivered that morning together. Was the food prepared correctly? Why or why not? No, none of the batches of green onions cross-contaminate the other. 155. Internal temp of lamb chops. 145. Internal temp of roasted hot-held vegetables. When using leftovers of TCS food to make salads. When using pulled eggs. 145. Internal temp of chicken enchiladas. 145. Internal temp of duck. 165. Internal temp of pasta.